A few days after my 16th birthday, I lost my Rocky Horror virginity in a shitty little duplex theater in Van Nuys, California. Some of you may have thought it was at the Newark. Turns out you're wrong. I had wanted to see Rocky since I was 10 or 11, and my mom drove us past a marquee advertising a midnight showing every Saturday. Now, my parents couldn't or wouldn't, my memory is hazy in that specific detail, tell me what it was about. But anything that happened at midnight on a Saturday sounded great to me. The creepy lettering and the word horror in the title only served to increase my anticipation. I love you all. A week or so after my birthday, my best friend Darren and I went to a place on Van Nuys Boulevard called Cafe 50s. These 1950s themed cafes were everywhere in the 80s. They were nearly as ubiquitous as frozen yogurt shops. Some people blame Stand By Me and Back to the Future for their popularity. But this particular 50s cafe was my favorite. Though I'd never actually been to a diner in the 50s, this one felt the most authentic, which means that it copied what I'd seen in movies better than anywhere else, and it had Del Shannon's Runaway on the jukebox.
And I wonder, why she ran away, and I wonder where she was staying. My little runaway, run away.
We gorged ourselves on patty melts and chocolate shakes and vanilla cokes and extra fries with ranch dressing, while we talked about all those things that seem important after you discovered girls, like, how to talk to one. Instantly convincing her to take an unforgettable trip with you to second base for 16 seconds of commitment-free passion. We argued about the time travel paradoxes in Back to the Future. Like you do. We confirmed through empirical evidence that quoting Monty Python to the 24-year-old waitress is not the best way to get a stand-up double when you're 16. Or ever. We admitted that Michael Keaton was a far better Batman than we had been prepared to give him credit for. Oh, hindsight, how you make Michael Keaton look so good. In other words, it was a Saturday night like any other. And as midnight and the restaurant's closing drew near, our attention turned toward the most important of teenage activities, doing anything but going home. Darren asked me, "Have you ever seen Rocky?" "Oh, God, I hate that stupid movie," I said. And the sequels are even worse. It's like, okay, we know he's gonna win, so why did we even come out and watch this stupid thing? No! I mean Rocky Horror, he said. Oh. I said, no, but I've always wanted to. It's playing across the street at midnight, he said. We should go. As quickly as I'd gotten excited to see it, I lost my nerve. You see, through the pre-Snopes grapevine that gave teens of my generation the truth about Mikey from Life cereal, oh my God, he totally died because he ate Pop Rocks and drank Coke. I'd heard about Rocky virgins being deflowered in horrifying ways. Oh my God, this guy I know went to see it in Santa Monica at the Newark, and they totally made him take off all his clothes, and they wrote virgin on his chest in lipstick. I looked across the table at Darren and I said in my most nonchalant voice, "Don't they do horrible things to people who haven't seen it before?" "Not really," he said, "but you know, if you're worried about it, we won't say anything." "Well, okay," I said, my confidence and excitement returning. Darren was 18, 2 years older than me. He was wise in the ways of the world. I knew that I could count on him to keep my secret shame between us. The waitress came back by our table. "Can I get you guys anything else?" Before I could demand a shrubbery and a phone number, with equal chances of receiving either, Darren asked her, "Could we get some slightly burnt white toast?" The waitress and I gave him the same curious look. He smiled back enigmatically.
Science fiction, double feature, Dr. X, Wil Wheaton the creature, and the late night double feature picture show.
Fuck the back row! I'm sorry, I can't help it. Did I tell you how much I love you? Because I'm saying it again. 20 minutes later, with burnt toast in my pocket and butterflies swarming in my stomach, I bought my ticket. We stood in a line that grew to about 24 people, and we waited for the theater to open. I made nervous small talk with Darren, talking a little too loudly about this great cast that I had seen in, I think I chose Huntington Beach. The doors opened a few minutes before midnight. We walked into a theater that TARDIS-like seemed bigger on the inside. than the outside. Dirty blue and orange curtains hung on the walls. 2 aisles separated 3 groups of squeaky blue seats. The floor was painted navy blue. Blue seemed to be a recurring motif in this particular theater. And the floor was appropriately sticky. We chose seats on the aisle near the back. I should have been completely freaked out when a guy sat down a few rows in front of us and lit a cigarette in flagrant violation of fire code and the theater's rules. But being rebel adjacent excited me. Kind of the way a lot of you guys are feeling right now. The theater quickly got as full as it was going to get. It seemed that most of the audience members knew each other, especially the 4 people who huddled together at the front